I'm going to show you how to crochet this striped raglan cardigan. The top-down structure is the easiest to adjust your size. I'll explain how in the process. And as you can see, it's a V-neck design, very comfortable around the neck. You can also add some snap buttons if you want. I used mohair yarn, so the cardigan is very warm and lightweight. I'm going to be using these two yarns. As you can see, there are different brands, but they both call for 4mm crochet hook, and that's what I'm going to be using. This is 100% acrylic, and this one is 65% microfiber and 35% mohair. This cardigan weighs 476 grams, that is 132 grams of mohair and 344 grams of the black acrylic yarn. So I'm gonna begin with this color. So first I make a slip knot and then insert my hook. Make a chain of 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're beginning with the shoulder, and this length is gonna be what's around your shoulder. Now that I have a chain of 46, I'll need 2 stitch markers. One is gonna be in the 11th stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll mark that 11th stitch. Place a stitch marker there. And then I'll count another 11th stitch, another 10 stitch, and then mark the 11th stitch. The first chain is this one, not this loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here. And now I should have 24 stitches between the stitch markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 24 stitches. Okay, now I'm going to begin row 1. Remember this chain, this is the first chain from the hook. I'm going to chain 1. And this first chain from the hook now is the second chain from the hook. In this chain, I'm going to work a single crochet first, but I'm going to work in the back loop. You can work in this loop, and most people usually do, but I found that my edge is better if I work in the back loop. So I'm going to turn my chain to find the back loop of this stitch. So turn, and that is the back loop, a little bump here. So I'll insert my hook in that stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, single crochet. And then I'm going to work another single crochet in the left vertical loop. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through the first loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And this is going to be the first double crochet. I did it this way because this makes the edge look better. So now you can see that's the back loop we just worked into. In the same loop, I'm going to work 2 more double crochets. And from here, we're just going to be working the normal double crochet. So to work a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, now in the same stitch here, and then you yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2. Okay, I'm going to do it again, yarn over, insert in the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then from the next chain, I'm just gonna work 1 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch. So yarn over, find the next stitch, back loop here, insert my hook, and make a double crochet. And I'm going to continue doing this to the next stitch marker. Before this stitch marker, you should have 12 stitches starting from this marked stitch. So now we can see the next stitch is marked, and this is its back loop. In this back loop, I'm going to work 3 double crochets. So for the second and the third one, you insert in the same stitch. Okay, 3 double crochets here. Then I'm going to take out the stitch marker and then place it in the middle double crochet. And then from the next stitch back loop, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch. Okay, then the next stitch is marked again. In the back loop, make 3 double crochets again. Take out the stitch marker and place it in the middle one. 1 double crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. And in the last stitch, I'm going to work 3 double crochets just like the beginning of the row. Okay, row 2, turn your work, and like we did before, I'm going to make my first double crochet differently again. In the first stitch, insert your hook in both loops and make a single crochet, and then 1 more single crochet in the left vertical loop. So insert your hook and make a single crochet. You can mark this stitch so that you know it's the first stitch. In the same stitch, I'm going to work 1 more double crochet. So I have 2 double crochets in the first stitch. The second stitch, I'm going to make 3 double crochets. And after 3 double crochets, I'll mark the middle one. Okay, so that means the beginning of the row. That means the increase spot. The color doesn't mean anything. I'm just using them randomly. Okay, from here, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch to this marked stitch, and in this one, I'm going to make 3 double crochets. And then I'll take out the stitch marker and place it in the middle stitch. And then I'll continue this pattern, 1 double crochet in each stitch to this one, 3 double crochets in it, and then mark the middle stitch again, 1 double crochet in each stitch, I'll see you when you have 2 stitches left. And as you can see, those are the last 2 stitches. In the second last one, I'm going to make 3 double crochets. And then I'll mark the middle one because that's going to be an increase spot. In the last stitch, work 2 double crochets, but if you want to change color for the next row, this is where you do it. You're going to finish the first double crochet, and then in the second one, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then you yarn over, pull through the first 2 ones, leaving 2 loops on your hook, and then you get the black yarn to pull it through like that. And you can tie these together just to secure it. And then we can begin row 3. Row 3, turn your work, and I'm gonna make the first stitch in the same way. Insert my hook and make a single crochet. You can't see it because it's black, but we've done this before. In the left vertical loop, insert your hook and make a single crochet. And again, in the first stitch, I'm gonna make 2 double crochets. That's the first one. I'm gonna make 1 more in the same stitch, and we do this for every row. So 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each stitch until you get to the next stitch marker. And this means we'll need to work 3 double crochets. And then every time you've done that 3 double crochets, you're going to take out the stitch marker and then place it in the middle stitch. Always in the middle stitch. And then from the next stitch, you just work 1 double crochet in each stitch. Increase here, 3 double crochets, 1 double crochet in each stitch. Increase 3 double crochets, 1 double crochet in each stitch. 3 double crochets, 1 double, 1 double, and then in the last stitch, 2 double crochets. So go ahead and finish this row. So as you can see, I've got 4 stitch markers here. Each stitch marker means you need to work 3 double crochets in that marked stitch. So that's 4 increase spots. We have 2 more, which is the beginning and the end of the round. And in these 2 stitches, you work 2 double crochets. So 2 here, but 3, 3, 3, 3 in those ones. And then you're just gonna continue doing that increase. And if you want to make it striped like mine, you just change color every 2 rows. The first double crochet of each row, I've shown you how to do that. That is 2 single crochets on top of each other. So when you finish the next row and change color at the end of the row here, you can cut either of these. And then you use the new yarn to finish this stitch. But make sure you don't pull this too tight. Leave some slack here, and you can tie these together. So continue working, increasing like that until you reach row 13. And then if you fold your piece like this, this will be the shoulders. So after 13 rows, your front panels, which are these ones, and your back panel, it's gonna be the same stitch number. So not counting the increase spot, I have 25 stitches here, 25 stitches here. and the back panel I have 50 stitches, and that means the front panels has the same stitch number as the back panel. So from here, from row 14, I'm gonna stop increasing here at the beginning and at the end of the row, because if you increase, it shapes like this. If you stop increasing, it's gonna go straight down like that, and that's what I want. So the next row, you just stop increasing, and that means you just work 1 double crochet in the first stitch instead of 2. So 1 double crochet in each stitch, and from row 14 you would only have 4 increase spots, which are here, here, and here, here. And at the end of the row we'll begin to work 1 double crochet as well. So I continued working from there until the 2 increase spots at the back. This measures about 19 inches, and then I'm gonna stop increasing here. I now have 21 rows to here, from this to this, and I'm just starting row 22 here. From this row, I'm going to separate the body and the arm. By the way, this is about the width of the cardigan, so if you need it to be wider, you would just work more rows here, keep increasing before you separate the sleeves. So I'm gonna do that at row 22. So you begin your row as usual, work to the first increase spot, and in the stitch marker where we're supposed to increase, we're just gonna work 1 double crochet, and then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna skip these stitches. These are the sleeve, so you skip to the next increase spot where the stitch marker is and work a double crochet in this stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch. This is for the back panel, so 1 double crochet in each stitch to the next stitch marker. When you get to the 3rd stitch marker, you're gonna work 1 double crochet in it as well, and then chain 3 again. Skip these stitches, go to the 4th stitch marker, and work a double crochet in it. And then continue working to the end of the row, change color, and then work your way back to these chains. Okay, so now I'm working back. I didn't increase here, just 1 double crochet in each stitch. I'm working back to the 3 chains here. I'm gonna mark the middle chain for later. So I'll place the stitch marker in the back loop. This is for later. When we work on the other side, we can find where to work our stitches. So 1 double crochet in each stitch. I have 2 double crochets here. And for these 3 chains, I'm gonna work 1 double crochet in each of them as well. And I'm gonna work in the top 2 loops. So yarn over, insert your hook in the top 2 loops, here and here, and then double crochet. In the next chain, insert in the top 2 loops, double crochet as well, and then the 3rd one, double crochet. And then from the next stitch, you can just continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch. And then for the body part, you're just gonna work like that, 1 double crochet in each stitch to here, and then 1 in each of the 3 chains as well, and work all the way back to this end, and don't forget to mark this middle chain as well. And then you begin the next row and work your way back like that. So from here, that's all you're gonna do for this part. Just work back and forth like that and work your way down. So I haven't finished the body, but I just want to show you how to work the sleeve first. So as you can see, I've got one row of the silver color. That means I need to work one more round of silver. And we're going to attach our yarn in the marked stitch. And as you can see, this round is worked in this direction. So the next one should be in the opposite direction. So I'm going to work the next round from this side like that. Make a slip knot and then insert your hook in this marked stitch. Pull the loop through, chain one. In this stitch, I should work a double crochet. So I'm still going to work the first double crochet in the same way, which is a single crochet first, and then in the left vertical loop, make another single crochet. Mark this first stitch. Remember, we have 3 chains here. That's the middle one, that's another chain. So work a double crochet in it, but I'm gonna carry this tail as well when I work it. So when I insert my hook, I make sure this tail is on my hook like that and work a double crochet. And then for this row, I'm gonna work 2 double crochets here. So you're just gonna find 2 spots to insert your hook so you can work the double crochet. And don't forget to carry the tail as well. And this stitch is the middle stitch of this increase here. In this stitch, I'm going to work one more double crochet just so that I don't create any holes here. Okay, and then in the next stitch, I'm just going to continue making double crochets, 1 in each stitch, and at the same time carrying this tail. So I'm just gonna work my way around like that. I'll see you near the end here. Okay, so that is the middle stitch. I need to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way to that stitch, this one, and then 2 double crochets here for this row. One more here. And then we only have 1 chain here left. So you work the last double crochet in it. And then slip stitch here. But then we need to change color so that the next row is black. So I'm going to finish this slip stitch first. And then to change color, I just grab this yarn and pull it through. And you can choose to tie these together. Because this round is worked in this direction, so after that I need to turn and it helps to mark your first stitch and the last stitch, so you know that's the first stitch we should work into after we turn. So I'll just work the first double crochet in this, which is 2 single crochets on top of each other, and then I mark this first stitch, work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and that marked stitch should be the last stitch I work into. And that's your last stitch. So you replace the stitch marker in that stitch, and you slip stitch. Before you slip stitch, you can decide which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side. It doesn't matter now, either side could be the right side. So say if you decide that this is the right side, you're going to slip stitch with this yarn at the back. And if you decide this is the wrong side, you slip stitch with this at the front. So this yarn would be hidden on the wrong side. Okay, so this is probably gonna be my right side. So I'll just slip stitch with this yarn at the back. So slip stitch in the first stitch, which is marked. And then you chain 1 and turn. And again, we're gonna start from the very first stitch. So in the first stitch, make your double crochet, and then mark this, and then 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way to this last stitch, and then you slip stitch in this first stitch, and then you change color and continue working like that. The reason why we turn after each round instead of working in the round is because you want to keep the same texture here as this. We've been alternating directions here, and that's what we should do here as well. And also make sure you keep marking the first and the last stitch of each round so you don't miss any stitches after you change direction. Also, when you want to change color, you just cut this yarn and rejoin it in the next round. And then in the next round, when you work the stitches, you can carry this yarn in it, so you don't have that many ends to weave in the end. Okay, so for the sleeves, you can just continue working like that, 1 double crochet in each stitch. If you want your sleeve to be puffy around here, but I actually want to do some decrease, so as it gets closer to the wrist, the sleeve becomes narrower and narrower. So after 3 rounds, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to show you how to do it with this color because it's easier to see. So you're going to begin your round as usual, and then when you have 2 stitches left at the end of the row, 1, 2, we're going to make a double crochet 2 together. So we're going to work 1 stitch over these 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over again, insert in the last stitch which is marked, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all. And that's it. Now you slip stitch in the first stitch, and don't forget to mark this stitch, the last one, and then slip stitch to join in the round, chain 1, turn your work your first double crochet here in the marked stitch, and then you just work 1 double crochet in each stitch. And again, when you have 2 stitches left at the end of the row, you can probably see it more clearly here. So you yarn over, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over again, insert in the last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. And you're just going to decrease like that at the end of each round, all the way to your wrist. And again, if you find this a bit difficult, you don't have to do that, but just know that your sleeve is gonna maintain the same size if you don't decrease, which is gonna make your sleeve more puffy around here. Okay, so from this, the first row here, I've done 23 rows, and now I have 40 stitches. I think it's small enough for my wrist. So from the next row, I'm gonna stop decreasing. So at the end of each round, I'm not gonna do that double crochet 2 together anymore, just 1 double crochet in each stitch, all the way around. And I can do that as many rounds as I like. So you can put this on and decide how many more rounds you wanna do. Okay, so I did 5 more rounds here because I want my cuff to be this color, so I'm ending with this color. So this is the last stitch. I'm going to slip stitch in the first stitch, and then we're gonna work the cuff. Chain 1, and just to make it easier to work from this side, I'm gonna turn my work. For the cuff, I'm gonna work front and back post double crochets. So it's still double crochets, but we're just inserting the hook in a different spot. So yarn over. The first stitch is this one. I'm going to insert my hook in the space to its right, go behind it, come out from the space to its left. Yarn over, pull it through, and double crochet. And then you mark this stitch. This is the first stitch. The chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. So this is a front post double crochet. This is a post of a stitch. The next stitch, we're going to alternate between a front post and a back post double crochet. To work a back post double crochet, yarn over. I'm going to insert in the space to its right, but from behind, like that, and then insert in the space to its left. It helps if you turn it to the other side, yarn over, pull it through, and double crochet. Okay, so alternate between this. The next stitch is a front post again, yarn over, insert like that, pull yarn through, and double crochet. Next stitch, back post, yarn over, insert from the back around the stitch, yarn over, pull through, double crochet. So you're going to continue doing this and work this round. Okay, I've got 2 stitches left. I'm going to work a front post and then a back post in the very last stitch here. And then after I finish each round, I'm going to slip stitch in the first stitch, and then chain 1. For the cuff, we're not going to turn anymore. We're just going to continue working in the same direction. So the next round still in this direction. Now it should be easy for you to see where you should work a front post and where you should work a back post. So after chaining 1 yarn over, in the front post stitch, you're going to work a front post. So insert around the stitch like that, pull yarn through, and double crochet. Next stitch, work a back post, yarn over, insert from the back around the stitch like that, pull yarn through, double crochet. Next stitch, front post, next stitch, back post. And then when you get to the end of the round, you're going to do the same thing, front post, back post, and then slip stitch in this stitch, chain 1, and begin your round with a front post in the very first stitch. So you can continue repeating that round as many rounds as you like. Here I worked 8 rounds, including the very first round in this color, which is just a normal double crochet round. So after 8 rounds, after the slip stitch, you're just gonna chain 1, cut this yarn, pull it through, and that completes the cuff. So after I finish both cuffs, this is the wrong side, I'm gonna turn it to the right side, and I'm gonna finish up the main body of the cardigan. So I put it on, and I think this length works for me. So after separating the sleeves, I have 3 stripes of black, and I'm ending it with 1 row in this color, the same as the cuff. We're going to begin the bottom ribbing and its front and back post double crochets as well. But unlike the cuff, which is worked in the round, this we need to work in rows. Because the first stitch is the edge, I'm going to make it normally. So just do the special double crochet like before. And then the post stitch begin from the next stitch. So in the second stitch, I'm going to work a front post double crochet, and the next stitch a back post. And then alternate between a front post and the back post to the end of the row. At the end of the row, I've got 2 stitches. That's a front post. I need to do a back post here. And then the last stitch, I'm going to work a normal double crochet. So that's row 1, that's row 2, row 3. Turn your work. So row 3 is going to be the same as row 2. The first stitch is the special double crochet. And the second stitch is a front post. So I'm going to work a front post in it. And then the next stitch, back post. So this is row 3. You're going to continue repeating row 2 until you reach row 8, so that the bottom ribbing and the cuff will share the same thickness. Okay, so as you can see, I worked back and forth, and now the bottom ribbing looks like this. I didn't fasten up here because I want to continue doing the front edge across like that. So for this part, I don't want to make this ribbing because this is gonna pull the rows together. So the corners here is gonna end up being pulled like that. So for this, I decided to use back loop double crochets, and it's gonna be worked like that. But before that, I need to work one row of single crochet to build the base for the ribbing. So I'll work one row from here across the neck to this end, and then when I work the ribbing like that, this is gonna look neater. So along this edge, I'm gonna work 12 single crochets. I'm gonna chain one to begin the row, and then I'm gonna place the 12 single crochets evenly along this edge. I marked the first edge so I can keep count. This edge is not normal stitches, so I kind of have to guess a little bit where I insert my hook. And sometimes I'll need to frog it as well. So that was 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then for these ones, I'm just gonna work 2 single crochets for each double crochet row. And the tails here, I'll try to hide it on the wrong side. So now I have the right side facing me, this is the wrong side, so any yarn, I'll hide it on this side. Like I said, I'm gonna work 2 single crochets for each row. So for this stripe, I need to work 4 single crochets. So 4 single crochets here, 4, 4, and continue like that. This is the color, and here I've got 2 rows as well. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, I'm gonna work 1 single crochet in each stitch. This is the foundation chain here. And if you remember at the beginning, I worked in the back loop. So here I've got 2 top loops. So you just insert in both of them and make a single crochet. So I'm gonna work 1 single crochet in each stitch to here, and then continue working 4 single crochets for every 2 double crochet rows, and at the bottom ribbing here, 12 single crochets again. So now I worked to this end, I've got 12 single crochets here, and then I'm gonna make a chain and then work back and forth along this edge. I'm gonna make a chain of 11. And then in the second stitch from the hook, turn, insert in the back loop of that chain, and make the special double crochet. Just like at the very beginning of the video. And then in the back loop of each chain, I'm gonna yarn over and make 1 double crochet in each of them. So that's the last stitch, back loop, work a double crochet, When you finish that last stitch, you should have 10 stitches in total. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn my work and find the second single crochet from this end. This one, this is the second one. I'm gonna insert my hook in it and slip stitch. So what that does is attach this row onto this edge. Okay, and then I'm gonna begin the next row. So normally you would chain 2 here to reach this height to be here, so you can work double crochet in that direction. But we want to attach it onto this edge at the same time. So what I do here is slip stitch twice, meaning slip stitch here and then here. So 1 and 2. And then I'm gonna turn my work. I'll turn in this direction, it doesn't really matter. And here you can see this is the first double crochet. So I'm gonna work a double crochet in this stitch first. But I'm gonna work in the back loop only. So I've got 2 top loops here. I'm only gonna insert in this one. So yarn over, insert in the back loop like that in the very first stitch, and then double crochet. And then from the next stitch, I'm gonna work 1 double crochet in each stitch, but I'm only gonna insert in the back loop. This is the last stitch. Insert in the back loop as well. And now I should have 10 stitches. 5, 10. And then I'm gonna turn my work the first special double crochet, but in the back loop as well. So insert like that and work the first stitch. And then 1 double crochet in each stitch, all in the back loop only. So this is row 3. I should have 10 stitches as well. So make sure you have 10 stitches for each row, so you know that you're not missing any stitch. So when we come back, we need to slip stitch again, but we need to skip 1 stitch. So as you can see, this stitch, we already slip stitched in it. So we should skip this stitch and slip stitch in this one. So when I come back, I skip 1, slip stitch, and then slip stitch 2 more times. 1 and 2. Okay? If you want to use the stitch marker to make it easier for you, you would put it in this one. So that's the last slip stitch. Skip 1, put it in this one. Okay, and then you work that way, and then come back. And when you come back, the first slip stitch should be worked in this marked stitch. Okay, so I'm gonna do that and show you again. So I'm gonna turn my work, and from the very first stitch, work 1 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch. Okay, so I worked my way back, and then I would slip stitch in the marked stitch, and then slip stitch 2 more times. And then I mark the second stitch from that. 1, 2. And then I'll just repeat that process. So we're working back loop double crochet rows, and we're attaching the rows to this edge at the same time, and basically lining 1 double crochet row to every 2 single crochets. Work all the way back to the other end of the row. So I got to the other end, and this stitch marker marks the last stitch. Which is also the stitch I should slip stitch into. And then I just chain 1 and fasten off. And that completes the sweater. You just need to weave in the yarn tails and then it's done.